Good morning, guys. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a gap down, which is unfortunate. I was really hoping for a gap up. This is the day 3 of the bounce attempt, and gap up would have been nice. But now a lot of these setups that I had, like TQQ, Tesla, plug, well, they're not valid anymore to short into strength. Till rate 2, it was way higher pre-market. They're all fading now. Not really sure what to do with these meme stocks yet. I think I'm gonna let them do their thing today and see, maybe watch them for tomorrow. EMC, this is day 4, but the percentage move isn't that big, only 100%. Can I try to open a knock a bit closer to the mic in the future? Will do. Wow, did I underestimate this GME? I thought it was gonna go to like 100 or something, and then I would have kept much more shares if I knew this would happen. It's now what? Up almost 300% from the entry. Pretty good. And this is why you stick to momentum stocks, you stick to high ADR stocks. You're not gonna get a move like this trading DuPont or General Electric. Just saying. And also, everyone that's new, follow the instructions on the screen. I'm serious. You know, absorb all the information, reread it a few times. Because I don't want to see any stupidity in the chat. You have 30 days to reread all of that information. Because there's quite a bit of people here now, and we can't have people, you know, sabotaging for everyone else. Everyone needs to be on the same page where you're out. That's the way it has to be. Yeah, GME is still fairly easy to borrow, which is I think it's gonna go higher. I don't know. I'm not really looking to short it. I'm still long. I don't know, not sure. Good luck, guys. I'm moving my stop on GME up slowly. You know what? I'm gonna use the lows of the day. I already see a lot of block candidates in the chat. It's unbelievable. It's like the instructions on the screen doesn't exist. It's all there. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, chat with traders. It's gonna be a disaster for the chat. Well, I guess I should have been a bit faster on GME. It's unbelievable. There's a 30-day window from where you join this stream. You have 30 days to follow the instructions on the screen. Every day you look at this text message here. Follow the wait, what does it say exactly? Follow the link in bio or type this, right? You have 30 days. Obviously, you can't type in chat, but you can follow the link in bio, right? 30 days you're staring at this. It's unbelievable. Yeah, a lot of these potential five-star shorting setups are ruined because of this gap down. I was really excited to short Tesla if it ran into the declining 10-day. Like I would have hoped for a gap up. It's the same setup as back here, February 2020. Actually, exactly a year ago. Same setup, 3rd of March 2020. Had a big run, it cracked, found support on the 50-day, had a 3-day bounce, and the 3rd day gapped up into these declining moving averages. Look at how it gapped up into the 10-day, and then look at, and then it had a next leg lower. And now we have to wait. This Mara could be a potential day 3 bounce setup short. But not yet. W potential pocket pivot, yeah. I like how it undercut the 200 2 days ago. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Maybe a bit too late now, but yeah, it's up already a lot. You would have to have a very wide stop now. But yeah, good work. It's still inside of this big range, but yeah, potential pocket pivot. Very good, very good. Good eye. It is a potential pocket pivot slash EP. Yeah, yeah, if GME can run back, get into VWAP, I would like to add to short a little bit. I sold the long when it took out the lows of the day. I got short some, but I only have a very small short. I'm not sure today is the day. I think it, you know, we'll see. It could very easily fade back to $100 today, but it could also go up to 250. So I'm not sure today is not a conviction day yet. I don't have enough information to go heavy on it. We'll see. Yeah, TDS is I think it may need more time, but it is setting up. I'm still intrigued about the silver trade. It's not going away, it's relentlessly building higher lows. Versus gold, that's relentlessly building lower highs. Gold looks like shit. I don't know why silver looks so great. And I don't know why they're so uncorrelated, but here we are. I love this ETF. If you look at the 1 minute chart, spot the area where I bought. It's incredible. I'm like more than half of the volume of this thing. I didn't even move the price a penny. I moved it like 2 pennies or something. Can't every stock be like this? They will ban me from it? I hope not. Would you give more importance to gold or silver? Well, silver has a setup, so gold, I don't see anything there. I only care about setups. Mara looks like... Yeah, 998 viewers. Again, a friendly reminder. You need to follow the instructions on the screen if new, and everyone else too. I don't care how long you've been here. You know, follow the instructions. You need to follow the chat rules. You need to read the blog posts. Okay, this is my trading room. You're invited to my trading room. And you can also very easily be uninvited from my training room. Okay, I do this for free. I'm just one guy. I have no energy or time to waste on things that are answered in the instructions on the screen. You will get blocked. There you have, 1,000 viewers. Wow. No energy? Well, you know what I mean. I don't have the time. Like it's just a waste of time. You know, answering questions that are already answered. If you had to just follow the instructions on the screen. Just a friendly reminder. Oh, Citron just pumped GMBL on Twitter. RVLV, they have earnings. Wow, it's a potential EP. Oh wow, it's also breaking a long like IPO breakout. Okay, this is interesting. It didn't even hit my scans. No, sorry, wrong day. I'm not gonna trade it either way, it's too thin, but this is a potential EP. What are the numbers? Big EPS growth, but negative revenue growth. That's not great, but you know, if it had a big analyst beat, let's look at the analyst beat. For those of you, this is one of the strategies I use. It's called episodic pivot, EP. It's pretty much earnings gappers mostly. So that 117, so triple-digit EPS growth but negative revenue growth. Not an ideal scenario, but if it had a big EPS beat, let's see. So they reported 26 per share versus 15 estimates. Okay. Not bad. These things, you know, these things can work. It's already trading above average volume on the day. It's probably gonna end up trading like 5 million, 6 million or something at the end of the day. So that's nice. But the key obviously is to identify these things pre-market and after hours and buy them on the opening range highs. Ideal entry on this thing would have been like 45, you know, 45, around 45. Hey, K7 to guy, great find. You're going places. You're going places. Great find. Very good find. If I like Marcus Smith, it's okay. It could be much better. I don't really use it much. The only thing I use on Market Smith is this box here and this box here. But mostly this box here. You can just see, you know, the past 8 quarters of EPS and revenue growth, and the EPS and revenue numbers. That's it pretty much. I don't, the scanning and the sharding and stuff like that, I don't care about that. It's not, you know, it's okay, but it's not great. It's boomer software. It's pretty much the same as it was 10 years ago. They haven't, like, it's horrible. The sharding functions are horrible. Citron has learned their lesson. On GME, they went short when it was high tide flagging. I'm gonna show you on the 60-minute and on a daily. This is where they went short, around, at least this is where they tweeted it, in the low 40s, that they were short, and they had 20 target on it. High tide flag. Now look at GME back in late January. Look at how it looked. It had a big move, and it was digesting its gain, was building higher lows. And now look at this GMBL. They tweeted positive today. You see the similarities? It's the exact same chart. Exactly the same chart. It's a high tide flag. But this time, apparently they have learned. Technicals matter. Fundamentals only happen eventually, but technicals matter all the time. Twitter, SCP, what news do they have? I have no idea. I saw it breaking out. Yeah, it's also breaking a little tiny flag here, but is that any news? Okay, so they want to double their annual revenue by 2023, but how? How are they gonna do it? Yeah, it's not really a surprise. Ads, oh, more ads. That's horrible. They should just do it subscription service. They would lose a lot of users, but they would make so much more money. Oh, they're gonna do subscriptions? What are you gonna go? Ads or subscriptions? It's not the same thing. Because if you subscribe to something, you don't want to see ads. Subs, okay. Yeah, they said it before, so it's not really anything new. So no, it's not an EP. It has to be a, surprise. It has to be a surprise. Kirk, my thoughts on Kirk. I don't know. I don't think it looks that great. I would like more sideways, a little bit more tightness. Yeah, I don't know. It's already, nah, I don't know. I would have preferred the 50-day to catch up. It's already a very long trend, long and old trend. I would, again, a little bit more sideways would have been better, but yeah, it can work. But yeah, I really want to trade the perfect setups myself. I don't want any so-so setups. Yeah, DDS already talked about it. I would prefer sideways, a little bit more sideways. But yeah, it is going. It is going. Sava is a five-star setup. This thing is ready. This is a 5-star setup. Unbelievably good looking setup. Icon, I think it looks like a random pump stock. There's no volume on it, and I don't know. It looks too random to me. Only if it starts breaking out on volume. I don't know. It looks a little bit too random. Yeah, I know. That's the problem. Yeah. I probably need to put a new... wait, which one? Sava? Yeah. That's the problem. That's the problem with the following. That's the problem. People are retards and they just, you know. Yeah, it's just people in this chat room buying. That's the problem. This is why I even try to avoid commenting on low liquidity stocks. Yeah, it's just people now. Everyone, jumping on each other. That's what happens when you have 1,000 people and you know. That's the problem. That's the problem with these with liquid stocks. Yeah, I wonder how many people there will be in here after the Chat with Traders podcast is released. I'm probably gonna regret I did that podcast. There's gonna be oh man. You'll be no stock daddy. You can't leave us. You can't leave us. And also, guys, I need more moderators. But only people who have been here, at least for 6 months, and that haven't gotten any mutes. Because Stock Daddy, I think he's the most active. No, wait. I think Stock Daddy is the most active of the moderators, so I'm very grateful for. Let David do it. David doesn't want to be a moderator. I've asked him many times. Okay, hey, Martini, you gotta be a moderator. Wait. How do you spell your name? Wait, where are you? I lost you. Where are you? There you are. Two E's and two N's. And two I's. No, one N and two I's. Okay. Hey, Martini, can you confirm? Oh, nice. Okay, great. You're a moderator now. I'll just do. I'm just trying to be proactive for what's coming. I have to chat with traders. It's gonna be a shit show. Yeah, the chat is moving too fast. I can't keep up. Hey, J1778K. J1778K. I made you moderator too. I don't think Lodbrok wants to be a moderator in Twitch. He's a moderator in Discord, and he's done a lot of great stuff in Discord. But I've asked him before; he doesn't want to be a moderator on Twitch. Yeah, but Solo Trader, you've only been following since 7th of January. That's the problem. I said 6 months. Okay, I did make a little bit of exception for J1778K, but that was like 5 months. But you've only been following for a month and a half. It's too short. And it's enough for moderators for now. I think 2 new today is good enough. Maybe we'll add more. Oh, did Arctic out loser today? Oh, I missed it. Man, I was moderating, or not moderating people. I was creating new moderators. Missing trades. That's fine. You don't get banned for asking about stocks, but you may get muted if you put tickers in. If you don't put tickers in caps, for example, you can get muted for that. Tickers always in caps. And also, if you just put a ticker out there, you'll get muted too. That's considered spam. If you have, questions, always put or if you mention a ticker, always put a comment or a question to it. Yeah, but Solo Trader, again, you've only been here a month and a half. you know. I did say 6 months, so maybe in 3.5 months or 2.5 months will be your turn. Anyone who wants to be a mod should not be a mod? I don't agree. Well, I know what I understand your point, but it's not also, you know, not valid. Because if you want to be a mod, you know, you can be a great mod. Like, obviously, everyone I mod should want to be a moderator, right? You don't want to make someone who doesn't make the, you know, want to be a moderator. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it would make no sense making David a moderator here, because he doesn't want to be a moderator. And also, I think he would be a bad moderator. He would just mute everyone. Like, literally everyone. So he can have his peace and quiet. I don't think David can mute me. But if David could mute me, he would do that. Guarantee. Guarantee. Yeah, guys, if you get muted, you know, sometimes, yeah, I mean, look, if you get muted, you get muted. There's not much to do about it. Sometimes maybe the moderators also make a mistake. They click the wrong person because the chat is moving fast, so, you know, shit happens. Damn, can this arc bounce a little bit? I'd love to see this thing bounce back to VWAP. I would like to short it. Because it is, it failed to reclaim the 50-day. And now it's building lower highs below the 50-day. And this thing, you know, if we get another leg down in the markets, you could easily sell down to the 100 or 200-day moving averages. Very easily. David is a slow mode. Everyone is a slow mode. Chris, make me a moderator. Now you want to be a moderator. Danny Lee. Hey, Danny Lee, are you in here? For those who don't know, Danny Lee, everyone should follow him on Twitter. He makes notes of every stream and posts screenshots of the setups I mentioned during the day, and then he posts them every day on Twitter. Let's see, Danny Lee on Twitter. Where is he? Are you in here, Danny Lee? Yeah, I think he watches the replay. Yeah, I'm not sure he watches it live. Yeah, I know. He's in here. He's logged into the stream, but I'm not sure he's like at the computer. I'm not sure he's hearing. And also, there's a guy I'm gonna block. He's been trolling me for like a week on Twitter. Blocked him on Twitter. How? Let's see. I'm gonna block him. How do you block someone? He already replied to me. Oh, I didn't see that. I just need to go and block some guy. Yeah, Point Bob, man. That guy has been writing me some weird comments for like the past week. Just these weird negative comments. I can't take it anymore. I don't know what the hell he wants. It's just wasting my energy. Where is he? Wait, he's not in the chat now? Wait, if I do this, does this command work? Oh, he's already ignored. Hey, can any of the moderators? The user is ignored when I try to block him. Can someone block Point Bob? He did the same thing to me. Yeah, it's David's butter account. No, it's not. Yeah. Like I usually I usually don't block people for stupidity. I have a pretty high tolerance. There are people that block left and right. Like I never pretty much block people. I think Point Bob will be the second person we've ever blocked on this stream. You know, and I've been streaming for over a year and a half now, so that says something. But you know, it's just I can't take it. Like, you know, constantly writing some negative comments to me on Twitter. I just can't take it anymore. Yeah, I know. That's why I tried to block him. But I can't figure out how to block on Twitch, so I hope some of the moderators did it. Yeah, I know. Some people, they just want attention. I know. I know. Could Vero be a good setup? Yes, I would prefer to see the 10-day come down to the price. Maybe in a few days it's gonna be a better setup. Yeah, he's very salty. Just weird comments all the time. I really don't know what he wants. Like some people are negative and salty, but usually, like if I can figure out their angle, it's fine. But some people I just can't figure out, and then it's just, you know. Why I passed on Sava? Because I think there was a lot of people, like I've been, you know, I was very mentioned it like as a 5-star setup, and it immediately started popping. You know, there were probably a bunch of people in this on this stream that started buying it, and that, you know, that's the problem if you have a following. Some people use it to their advantage. They buy, then they like, oh, look at this, it's a great setup, it's gonna go to the moon. And then a bunch of clueless followers buy. It's like what Citron did on Twitter, on Twitter like 30 minutes ago on this GMBL. That's how it does. It buys it, then it tweets it out. It's gonna go to the moon, and then thousands of people buy it after him. So, you know, it depends on, you know, how you want to make your money. Do you want to use do you want to churn your following? Or do you want to actually be a good trader? It's a choice you have to make once you get a following. So I'm gonna be really careful commenting on like low liquidity stocks. Because, you know, most people, they really don't want to learn trading. They just want to be told what to do. Buy this, buy that. And there's a lot of people like this on this stream too. Unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of people try to buy in anticipation, and that's you know. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna work out, you know, this thing could go to infinity and beyond, but if there's just one chat room buying a certain stock, who's left to buy? Yeah, Riot is tightening. It's actually gonna be a good long setup by tomorrow, I think. Yeah, if it can stay like this today, could be a good long setup. It's you know, it also could be a good short setup. It's right now, it's building lower highs, higher lows. Ideally, it goes sideways a few more days, and whichever way it breaks, if it breaks down, I'll add to my short. If it breaks out, I'll cover my short and go long. I just do what the stock is telling me to do. That's it. You listen to the stocks, try to figure out what they're trying to tell you, and then you go with it. No opinions needed. And after a while, You can afford anything you want. Simple, but not easy. PLL. PLL set up yesterday. Actually pretty decent. I would have preferred a few more sideways days, but technically acted really well on the sell-off day. It hit the 50-day and rebounded all the way. Look at this thing. You just draw this line, higher lows all the way. And then it had this range. But again, it was a bit tricky one. But it was an okay setup. Not a 5-star, but it was a setup, definitely. For those of you who identified it. It showed some incredible strength. Incredible strength. GSX, oh, be careful going long something like GSX. There's a lot of sketchy stuff going on here. But yeah, it's one of these meme stocks. One of these short interest theme stocks. But it's a laggard. It's a laggard compared to AMC, GME, COS, all the others. So I don't know. I don't like trading laggards, but you know, as a setup, it's okay. Maybe 3-star. Or something like that. It's not a part of meme stocks. I would say it is, because it traded with the meme stocks a month ago. It is a meme stock. It's one of these unknown meme stocks. But let's just say these high short interest stocks, when they squeezed all the high short interest stocks a month ago. Do you have any nuggets we should watch out for? The CWT episode? I don't know. Low liquidity. Liquidity doesn't have anything to do, well, it does, but not necessarily anything to do with the float. It's a dollar volume. That's what you should look for. I consider everything below $100 million volume liquid. For example, something like Sava, look at this thing yesterday, traded, or well, actually traded over $100 million volume, but still, it's kind of liquid. Oh, 7 million float too, yeah. Usually low float stocks are illiquid, but sometimes they can also be very, very liquid. Like something like GME, not a low float stock, but this was one of the most liquid stock in the world a month ago, and the float is only 47 million. So there's some correlation, but not always. And there's also like high float stocks that can be very illiquid. It's not about being having to do anything secret big boys. There are no secret big boys in here, because the big boys, they can stand on their own legs. They don't need to be in this Twitch stream. But it's just the effect of 100 people, you know, started buying at the same time when I mentioned it was a 5-star setup. That's the issue. There is only one big guy here. Is your Nocco sugar-free? All Nocco is sugar-free. It's only sweeteners. In 10 years I'll probably get brain cancer or something. But that's fine, as long as I'm enjoying life now. I really hope these stocks go higher. AMC, COS, GME. When you're short these parabolic types of names, you always want to be stopped out so they can go higher, because you know it's going to be an even better setup. You're short costs and under PDT, yeah, that's yeah. If you're under PDT rule, then obviously you don't want to get stopped out ever. TNA meltdown. I don't know. Looks really strong. It's almost at highs. Small caps, they are the most like the small cap index is the most extended one. But it's also the strongest one. Look at how he undercut the 20 and just reclaimed. Now it's building a flag here. That's a bullish sign. Every time you have something that's up a lot and can't correct, that's a sign of strength. If you see 4 or 5-star setups, but they make sure well, it depends on how many of there are. Like if there's only like 1 or 2 setups on some random stocks and the indices are sluggish and I know breakouts have been failing over the past week, you know, I don't trade. Like I haven't traded breakouts for the past couple of weeks. With the exception of GME, because this is an ultra momentum stock. Like if anything has a reason to move, it's GME. So that gave me conviction. That's the only like long setup I traded, pretty much. There has been a few others, but your long TLRI getting stuck, getting hurt, well, that's what happens when you don't have rules. If you want some simple rules, you can follow the instructions on the screen. That's what happens. And that's the first step into learning trading. Getting hurt. You have to get hurt first. No one starts trading with rules. People start doing random shit. They get hurt. Many just give up. Some choose to blame hedge funds or market makers or this or that. And some people, they realize they need rules. They need a setup. They need to stop doing things randomly and start doing things with an edge. And thankfully, most of you who are in here have chosen to be in the latter group. You have chosen to be in control of your own destiny. You have chosen to not be victims. You have chosen to be winners, not losers. And that's a good thing. Exactly. Show us where they hurt you on this teddy bear. David, are you a victim of harassment? Well, David, you have like 10 guns and unlimited ammo. How can you be a victim of harassment? Codex? Yeah, it's an okay setup. It's one of these virus names, right? Yeah. It is kind of setting up. Maybe not today, but maybe starting tomorrow. There is something there, absolutely. How are the other ones looking? VXRT, these look like shit. Yeah, Codex. I mean, yeah, it looks decent. If I scan with trade ideas, I've never used trade ideas. I used to tell you only 10% of you would make it. I would say it's probably less. The survival rate with active traders over, say, a 3-5 year period, it's pretty low. It is pretty low. Because the things to be a successful trader and not blow up, to beat the market many years over a long time, there's not only is there a lot of things you must stop doing wrong, there's also a lot of things you must start doing correctly, and a lot of people just never piece it all together. There's just so many moving parts and you always have to adapt. And I think learning setups is easy. You spend a few hundred hours on a specific setup, you will be pretty good at that setup. Entries, exits, very easy. Like it's very simple. It's not rocket science. Position sizing, risk management, these are easy things. The hard things are like knowing when to trade that specific setup aggressively and when to take a step back. That's really hard. And that's really one of the few things I still struggle with, even after 10 years, 11 years of trading. And also adapting, this constant adapting to the markets. That's usually what gets people in the long run. They just can't keep up. They get sloppy and mRNA setup. Yeah, well, mRNA, I'm short. I'm short from here, like 166. I did chase it a little bit, I think. No, yeah, so I shorted it opening range low. So this is the 60-minute chart, and this is the daily chart. So pretty much when it broke this uptrend, it's been having a big like a year in a year. It's been having a very big move. And this thing, like every time it breaks its uptrend, it usually has a very clean move. It trades very clean to the upside and to the downside. So when it started failing the 10-day here, that's when it got on my radar. And on this day here, what's that? 3 days ago, when it broke this little range here, when it broke. So it gapped down right below the 20-day, pushed into the 20-day, and got rejected. And when it took out the lows of the day, that's when I shorted it. That was confirmation that, okay, this is an extended stock. It broke down, tried to rally, got rejected. This thing, the path of least resistance is to the downside. That's the setup. It's a breakdown setup, and it's the not exact opposite, but that's about the opposite what you want to see on a long setup. Like someone mentioned PLL, like this thing broke down too, right? What is it? 2 days ago, had a big move down, bounced off the nearest support. It broke this support, the 20-day, which it had been surfing for a month. Broke the 20-day, had a big move down, bounced off the support here, the 50-day, and went all the way back. That's a sign of strength, right? Well, mRNA did the opposite. It broke down, bounced into resistance, which in this case is the 20-day moving average, and then it started going lower again. Yeah, guys, there's a lot of questions. I wish I could answer all of them. There's just too many questions, and I don't really like talking too much. There's a lot of great questions in the chat. Really, I just, I get tired of talking. That's the problem. And also, if you're new, and if you have followed the instructions on the screen, you would know there's also a Discord. A lot of your questions will be answered in the Discord also. And if you want to have random convos with anyone, you can do it in the Discord. And there's the Discord link in the chat right now. How was Hearts of Iron yesterday? I got beaten up. I did a big mistake, and I played Iron Man mode where you can't save the game, so you can't go back to a previous save. And yeah, I made a fatal mistake, and I got run over by my enemies. That sums up my Hearts of Iron experience yesterday. QQQs look weak. Yeah, for now. It's above the 50, so it would be a logical point for it to bounce here. We'll see. It's too early to tell. I think we need a few more days until we get a clearer picture. But yeah, the Nasdaq 100 is the weakest out of the indices. Like a regular Nasdaq is above the 50. And also Russell is obviously the strongest. It's almost at all-time highs. So, yeah, well, we just need some more time. Right now is not the time to be aggressive in any way. The market just needs some time. Looks like GME has reclaimed, GME has reclaimed the VWAP. Man, I hope I get stopped out. I hope it goes to 250 today. Would be great. And then maybe get a epic opportunity tomorrow. Man, looking at it in hindsight, I should have covered some. It was a big move from highs to the lows. Sting, oh man, it made up 40. Oh shit, I should have covered some. Oh man, I didn't realize it went down to $100. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, that wasn't good. I only have a starter anyways, but whatever. Dow Jones, yeah, the defensive stocks are the strongest, I guess, but that's not really the sectors I like to trade. usually when Dow Jones is outperforming, that's when that's called a hard penny market. You want the easy dollar markets, like Mark Minervini says. You want to trade the easy dollar markets. But how do you know which is which? Well, that's the hard part. It takes many years to understand the difference. You kind of have to go through these cycles. You have to go through a raging bull, a relentless choppy sideways market, and like a relentless bear. And last time we had a relentless bear was in February, March last year, when the market went down pretty much every day, almost. You know, major indices went down 30% in a month. So you kind of need to go through those cycles a couple of times to understand, get a deeper understanding of the market. You know, what works when, what doesn't work when. And obviously the only way to do it is to go through it, to lose money. That's the only way you learn. You can't learn it in a book. You can't learn it from a book. You can get setup ideas, you can get ideas for a lot of things in books and articles, and if you study you know, other successful traders, but at the end of the day, you have to piece it together, and it's your, you know, it's pretty much your listening skills that's gonna determine if you're gonna be successful or not. If you listen to the market, if you learn to listen to the market, then you will be a successful trader for the rest of your life. That's the most important thing. Learn how to listen to the market. How many shares of GME I had yesterday? I had a little bit over 200,000 shares. And it was such a nice setup. I mean, it's just such a clean setup. You have this big momentum stock, probably one of the biggest momentum stocks over the past 10 years. I can't remember anything that was this big on this scale, on this kind of volume. Maybe Volkswagen 2008 was the last time we had a squeeze like that on this, on like super high volume. And then it, you know, had this big fade and got really tight. And you know what the tell was? Like 2 days ago when the market was down, a lot of these momentum stocks were down 10, 20, 30%. I think CCIV was down like 40% on the day, or even more, 50, 45, right? GME was green on the day. Or GME printed an inside day, or it was green on the day, like a tight day. And that's what I was talking about yesterday. You know, once it reclaims the declining 10-day, that's when fireworks can happen. It could go up 50, 100% in a day. And that's what it did. It went up more than that. I underestimated it. It went up... wait, where is it? Well, I have to include the pre-market, obviously. If you include the after hours, it went up like... No, that's a misprint. It went up almost 300%. So I did underestimate big time. What was the question? Yeah, I had 200,000 shares. I'm going to show you exactly how I traded it. So I did have a few false starts. I tried it last week, I think. I think I tried it on Monday too. No, not on Monday. No, this is the first time I traded it this week. So once it started, this is the logarithmic chart just to get a better resolution. So once it started breaking this trend line yesterday at the open, that's when I started buying. I bought 100,000 shares, and the first thing that happened after I bought it, let's go to the 5-minute chart, is it faded. So I bought this pop here, and then it faded. It was really close stopping me out. It was like 10, 15, 20 cents from stopping me out. I'm like, oh, not again. And then it started reclaiming. It built higher lows. And once it took out the highs of the day, that's when I added. I think I added another 50,000 shares. and then intraday, midday, it was still building higher lows above VWAP, and look at how tight it got. And here, I think I added another 50,000 or so shares. So I had a little bit over 200,000 shares, like 48 or so average, or low 48s average. And look, I would have had more shares if it was more liquid. But the liquidity was really low. Like yesterday, 2 days ago, the liquidity was really low. So I was just too scared to buy more. In case it would fail and stop me out, I would have serious slippage. And yeah, then it exploded. And I totally underestimated it. I didn't see this thing go to 200. It actually went to 200 after hours. Holy shit. Like, I sold most of my shares in the high double digits. That's where I sold most. And then I sold some in the low triple digits, and yeah. By the time it squeezed, it's funny because when it was traded at 100, it would still double from there. But by then I was already like 3/4 out of it. I only had like 1/4 of my shares left or something like that. So sometimes the big moves come after the big moves. But it's so hard to, hold the stock that's already up a double, triple in a few hours. It's just super hard. And this is why you always try to have some type, when you play on the long side, if you trade stocks on the long side, especially momentum stocks like this, you don't ever sell everything into strength. That's a loser move. You always try to trail some, because you never know where you're gonna get an outlier move like this. That's why you always use the 10, 20-day moving averages when playing things on the long side. You sell some into strength after 3 to 5 days, and then you trail the rest, because sometimes you're gonna get these outlier moves when they just keep going and going and going, and that's where most of your money is gonna come from. Like, I'm personally a home run trader. Most of my trades even out, and it's only maybe 10-15% of the trades, or maybe even less than 10%, where all of my money comes from, and then some. And then some. I also talked about this on the chat with traders. I don't know the exact numbers. I never do data analysis of my trading. But, something like that. Yeah, it's insane. GME short a month ago, and now GME long yesterday. I would say 1/4 of my career profits have come from those two trades. 1/4 of my, that's called the snowball effect. That's called the exponential effect. You build on past success. It's pretty insane. Do I think I could improve my edge with data analysis? No. Why? Because data analysis, well, not really, because I've done some basic data analysis. I know that, and I found out that if most of my losses, if I would just cut out, like, every year, if I would just avoid 5 of my biggest losers, I would have made twice the amount of money, 3 times the amount of money. That's usually the first conclusion most traders reach once they start looking over their trades. That's the biggest one. Avoid the big losers. Cut the losers fast. If just one loser gets out of it can hurt you a lot. It can hurt you a lot. But the problem, a lot of people do a lot of data analysis. But if you're doing a lot of things wrong, data analysis is not going to help you. Because you're looking at the symptom, not the problem. You always need to look at the problem. Yeah, I agree. Data analysis is more helpful for day traders, because that's another thing most day traders find out. Most of their money comes from the first hour, 2 hours of the trading day. At the middle of the trading day can be very treacherous. That's pretty much, guys, I just gave you 90% of the things you're gonna find out when doing like deep diving into your trading data. That's 90%, okay? If you've never not done it before. Oh, this RVLV apparently took out the lows of the day. I also lowered my mRNA stop, and now it's on the highs of the day. They reported great earnings, not earnings, not EPS, but great revenue growth. But it's not a surprise. We already knew it was gonna have great. Like they've been, like the contracts are known, the government contracts. Like they've been they've gotten many 100+ million contracts. So it's already known that we're gonna have great revenue growth. Look at this company. They had like low double-digit revenue growth, and here they had single-digit in millions, and then COVID hit, and they started selling their vaccines, started getting contracts, and look at the revenue growth. It's gone from 8 million to almost 600 million in less than a year. If you learn the skill to find companies like these, there's a bunch every year. You know, that's a big edge. Okay, that is a big edge. There's a reason this company has gone from $20 a share a year ago to $150 per share today. If you can find and identify companies like these, you know, you will have an income for life. You will have an edge for life. And there's many ways you can trade them on many different time frames. You can swing trade them, you can position trade them, you can invest in them. Like there's so many ways you can trade them, or make money of these things. Okay, earnings and revenue growth are fuel, and then it's up to you how you want to trade them or invest in them. But the key point is you want to trade things that have fuel that drives them higher. And that fuel can be earnings and revenue growth. It can be a sexy story. It can be a sexy story combined with potential big future EPS and revenue growth. Doesn't have to ever materialize, but if the story is good enough and the market environment is right, those stocks can make big moves. Something like QS, for example. They're not going to have any revenue for the next 4 years, but once they get revenue, the potential is big, and that's why this stock made a big move. Sometimes the fuel can be high short interest, like GME, AMC, GSX, etc., etc. But you need to identify the fuel, and then you can trade them in many different ways. Or you can just buy Bitcoin. You can just buy anything. But yeah, Bitcoin has a very sexy story. Absolutely. One of the sexiest stories out there. And that's why it's going up. Yeah, Roku getting tight. Yeah. It's important to see how these things hold up. Roku, Square, these are two of the biggest leaders. But if the Roku, like it is building lower highs, if it keeps building lower highs and then breaks this trend to the downside, I will short it. Like next stop could be the 150 day, the declining, the rising 150 day here in the low 300s. But it could also very easily go back to 450. So, you know, you want these stocks with big range, and you wait and see what the stock tells you. Do I have a defined rule? Yeah, it's when there are no setups. Like there's very little setups, quality setups, very few quality setups, and also when you see a lot of like breakouts being failing recently, that's also a warning sign. You know, you gotta pay attention to those things. The best time to buy breakouts is when the market is coming out of a correction. The deeper the better. Or if the market is coming out of a long consolidation. And you start seeing a lot of setups. You have to pass on 5-star setups left and right because there's so many. Those are the best times. That's when you're gonna print money. The Fed, you're gonna have your personal Fed in your pocket. You're gonna have an ATM in your pocket. And those periods, they happen a few times per year. Holy shit! So I'm trying to get a locate on costs because you know it's building lower highs intraday below the VWAP, and now it's breaking this range. So locating 100,000 shares would cost me 77,000. I think I'm gonna pass on that deal. Alright guys, I'm gonna cut the stream now. Thanks for joining. Thanks for keeping things clean in the chat. Thanks to the moderators for their hard work. Thanks to the new followers, and thanks to the old followers. And David, fuck off. And see you tomorrow.